Why 88% of Japanese elders don't get sick, and what you can copy today. Hello, dear friend. How are you today? I hope you feel good right now. Maybe you have a warm cup of tea or coffee. Wherever you are watching from, I am happy you are here with me today. I want to tell you something amazing. Something that might change how you think about getting older. In Japan, there is a wonderful truth. Japanese women live about 87 years. Japanese men live about 81 years. This makes Japan one of the healthiest countries in the world. Since 1980, Japan became one of the longest-lived countries through good health habits. Let me tell you about Japanese woman, Elder Akiko. She is 80 years old. She lives in the old city of Kyoto. Every morning, when the sun starts to shine, Akiko wakes up from her bed. She does not hurry. She does not worry about being late. Instead, she sits quietly for a moment. She feels thankful for another day of life. This simple act is where our story begins today. You see, Akiko and millions of Japanese elders like her have found something special. They know that staying healthy is not about expensive medicine. It is not about hard workouts. It is about simple, gentle habits that anyone can learn. Picture this with me. The sun is just starting to peek through the wooden shutters of Akiko's small home. The air is cool and fresh. She puts her feet on the floor mat. These are called tatami mats. They have been in Japanese homes for hundreds of years. The mat feels rough but good under her bare feet. This is her first touch with the earth for the day. Akiko does not check her phone right away. She does not turn on the TV. Instead, she walks slowly to her small garden. The morning water drops cling to the leaves of her plants. She breathes in deeply. She fills her lungs with clean, fresh air. This is not exercise like we might think of it. This is something much more gentle and caring. In Japan, they call this shinran-yoku, or forest bathing. But you do not need a forest, dear friend. You just need to step outside. Really notice the world around you. Feel the air on your skin. Listen to the birds singing their morning songs. Watch how the light changes as the sun climbs higher in the sky. Now, let me share something that might surprise you. Japanese elders like Akiko do not count calories. They do not follow strict diets. Instead, they follow an old practice called hara hachi. This means eating until you are about 80% full. Studies show this helps prevent eating too much. It helps keep a healthy weight. This is very important for living a long life. Japanese food, called washoku, focuses on balance and variety. This helps their amazing health. Akiko makes her breakfast with great care. She uses the same care an artist might use to paint a picture. She measures out exactly 1 cup of rice. She adds small amounts of pickled vegetables. She does this not because someone told her they were healthy. She does it because her grandmother taught her that colorful foods bring joy to the soul. She includes a small piece of fish. Each bite is taken slowly and carefully. She'll choose each bite completely. She tastes every flavor. There is no TV making noise, just the quiet joy of food that has been made with love and received with thanks. This careful eating does something wonderful for the body. It helps with digestion, but more than that, it creates a sense of peace and happiness that lasts all day. When we eat in a hurry, our bodies do not have time to know when we have had enough. But when we eat like Akiko, our bodies and minds work together perfectly. After breakfast, Akiko does not rush to start her day. Instead, she does what might look like the world's gentlest exercise. It is called rajio taiso, or radio exercises. These have been broadcast across Japan since 1928. They were first made to help people get stronger and protect them from illness. Picture movements so gentle you could do them in your nightgown. They are so simple that a child could learn them in minutes. Science studies show that this daily habit helps keep good physical health. It makes you more flexible and helps with balance. It reduces the risk of falls in older people. Long studies have proven that rajio taiso gives big benefits for health and life quality in older adults, especially those who are frail. She raises her arms slowly above her head. She breathes in as they rise. She breathes out as they fall. She turns her head gently from side to side, like a flower following the path of the sun. She bends forward slightly, then straightens. She feels her spine stretch and lengthen. These are not the hard workouts you might see at a gym. These are movements that honor the body rather than hurt it. The beautiful thing about rajio taiso is that it meets you where you are. If you are sitting in a chair right now, you can do these movements. If you are standing, you can do them too. If you have aches and pains, the movements can be made smaller and gentler. The goal is not to push through pain. The goal is not to prove anything to anyone. The goal is simply to move with kindness toward yourself. As Akiko moves through her gentle routine, something amazing happens in her body. Her blood flow gets better. This sends fresh blood to every cell. Her joints move through their full range of motion. This keeps them flexible and pain-free. Her breathing gets deeper. This brings more oxygen to her brain and heart. But perhaps most importantly, she feels proud and cared for. This feeling carries her through the entire day. There is wisdom in this approach that goes much deeper than physical health. In Japan, elders like Akiko understand that the body and mind are not separate things. They know that when you move your body with kindness, your thoughts become kinder too. When you breathe deeply and slowly, your worries seem to fade away. Think about this for a moment, dear friend. How different might your mornings feel if you began them like Akiko? Not with the loud sound of an alarm clock, but with a moment of thanks. Not with the stress of rushing, but with the peace of moving slowly and carefully. Not with eating food without thinking, but with the thoughtful joy of good food. It is about learning from people who have found something beautiful about growing older gracefully. It is about understanding that health does not have to be hard or expensive or painful. Sometimes, the most powerful healing comes from the simplest acts of being kind to yourself. I want you to imagine something. Imagine waking up tomorrow morning and trying just one of these practices. Maybe it is taking 5 deep breaths before getting out of bed. Maybe it is eating your breakfast without any distractions, really tasting each bite. Maybe it is stepping outside and really noticing the world around you for just a few minutes. You do not have to change everything at once. In fact, the Japanese way teaches us that small, steady changes are much more powerful than big ones, like drops of water that slowly carve the deepest canyons. These gentle practices have the power to change your health and happiness in ways you might never have imagined. I hope you feel comfortable and peaceful as we continue our gentle journey together. As the morning becomes afternoon in Japanese woman Elder Akiko's world, something beautiful begins to happen. The pace does not get faster. Instead, it finds a rhythm as natural and steady as breathing itself. Let me tell you about another amazing person. Japanese man Elder Takeshi is 73 years old. He lives in a small town by the ocean. The sound of waves has been his daily friend for more than 70 years. Like so many Japanese elders, Takeshi has found that the afternoon hours hold their own special magic for health and happiness. After his simple lunch, maybe some miso soup with tofu and seaweed, a small serving of vegetables from his garden, and green tea served in a cup worn smooth by countless thankful hands. He does not reach for the TV remote. Takeshi does not fall into a chair. Instead, he gets ready for what might be the most important part of his entire day: his connection with others. In Japan, there is a beautiful idea called Ikigai. It is often translated as reason for being, but it is so much richer than that. It is the meeting place of what you love, what you are good at, what the world needs, and what brings you joy. Research published in the Lancet Regional Health shows that having Ikigai helps health and well-being in Japanese older adults. Studies of Japanese people who lived to 100 found that all of them seemed to have a positive attitude. They were generally hopeful and had this sense of Ikigai. Science research has found 4 main sources of Ikigai among older adults: health, relationships with family, happiness, and helping others. Picture Japanese man Elder Takeshi walking slowly through his neighborhood. His steps are measured. This is not because he is unsteady. It is because he has learned that rushing takes away life's small pleasures. He notices things that busy people miss. The way afternoon light comes through the leaves of an old cherry tree. The sound of children laughing in a nearby schoolyard. The gentle curve of roof tiles that have weathered countless seasons. But Japanese man Elder Takeshi is not walking alone. This is perhaps the most important difference between Japanese elders and their friends in many other countries. In Japan, aging does not mean being alone. It means deeper, richer connections with the community around you. He stops at Mrs. Fumiko's house. She is 85 and has been his neighbor for 40 years. They do not talk about the weather or complain about their aches and pains. Instead, they share something much more nourishing. Japanese woman Elder Fumiko shows him the small origami cranes she has been folding. Each one is a meditation. Each fold is a prayer for peace. Her fingers, though touched by arthritis, still move with the grace of decades of practice. Japanese man Elder Takeshi admires each crane. He understands that he is not just looking at paper art. He is seeing the physical form of a peaceful mind. In Japan, they understand that keeping your hands busy with meaningful work keeps your spirit young. It does not matter if you are folding paper, caring for plants, or brushing calligraphy strokes. What matters is that you are creating something with purpose and love. As they talk, something beautiful happens. Neither Japanese man Elder Takeshi nor Japanese woman Elder Fumiko feels alone. They do not feel forgotten or invisible, as too many elders do in other parts of the world. Instead, they feel valued and connected. They feel part of something larger than themselves. This sense of belonging, this feeling of being needed and appreciated, does something amazing for their health. Scientists are just beginning to understand what Japanese elders have known for generations. Loneliness is as dangerous to your health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day, according to medical research. But connection, real meaningful connection with others, makes your immune system stronger. It lowers your blood pressure and keeps your mind sharp and clear. Japan's approach to aging includes strong community support systems. Research shows these are very important for keeping health in later years. After visiting with Fumiko, Takeshi continues his gentle afternoon walk. He stops at the small community center, where a group of elders gather every day. They are not there for organized activities or structured programs. They are there simply to be together, to share stories, to laugh, to remember. Today, they are getting ready for the local festival that happens every autumn. Japanese man, Elder Kenji, 78 years old, is teaching younger members of the group how to make traditional decorations. His hands, weathered by decades of work, guide theirs with endless patience. Japanese woman, Elder Sachiko, 82 years old, shares stories of festivals from her childhood. Her voice is warm with memory and love. Watch how these elders interact with each other. There is no competition. There is no trying to prove who is healthiest or most successful. Instead, there is a gentle acceptance of each person's strengths and limits. When Japanese man Elder Kenji's hands shake a little as he shows a difficult fold, no one mentions it. When Japanese woman Elder Sachiko needs to repeat a story because she has already told it twice, everyone listens as if hearing it for the first time. This is the power of what the Japanese call wa, means harmony. It is not about pretending everything is perfect. It is not about hiding your struggles. It is about creating a space where everyone feels safe to be exactly who they are. Where aging is seen not as failure, but as wisdom earned through years of living. In the middle of the afternoon, something magical happens in Japanese communities. The pace naturally slows even more. This is not laziness or giving up. This is the wisdom of understanding that rest is not the opposite of activity. Rest is the foundation that makes meaningful activity possible. Japanese man Elder Takeshi finds a quiet bench in the small park near the community center. He does not pull out his phone or worry. Instead, He practices something that might be the most powerful health tool of all: mindful rest. He sits comfortably. He feels the warmth of the afternoon sun on his face. He listens to the sounds around him: birds singing, leaves rustling, the distant sound of children playing. This isn't meditation in the formal sense, though it shares many of the same benefits. This is simply the practice of being fully present in the moment, without trying to change anything or go anywhere or accomplish anything. It's a radical act in our busy world, the act of simply being. As Takeshi sits quietly, his body begins to relax in ways that go deeper than sleep. His breathing naturally slows and deepens. His heart rate settles into a calm, steady rhythm. His mind, freed from the constant pressure to think and plan and worry, begins to clear like a mountain lake after a storm. Research shows that this kind of mindful rest does incredible things for your health. It lowers inflammation in your body. It strengthens your immune system. It improves your memory and concentration. It helps your body repair itself at the cellular level. But for Takeshi, these benefits are just a natural result of something much simpler: treating himself with the same kindness he would show a dear friend. Near the end of the afternoon, Takeshi makes his way to another important stop: the small shrine that sits at the heart of his neighborhood. This isn't necessarily about religion in the way we might think of it. For many Japanese elders, visiting the shrine is about connection to something larger than themselves, connection to the generations who came before, connection to the simple gratitude that makes life worth living. He approaches the shrine slowly, respectfully. He bows slightly, not in submission, but in recognition of the sacred in ordinary life. He claps his hands twice, a sound that seems to wake up the peaceful afternoon air. He stands quietly for a moment, not asking for anything specific, just expressing gratitude for another day of life, another day of health, another day of connection with the people and world around him. This practice of gratitude isn't just a nice sentiment. It's powerful medicine. Studies published in medical journals show that people who regularly practice gratitude have stronger immune systems, better sleep, lower blood pressure, and greater overall life satisfaction. But Japanese elders like Takeshi don't practice gratitude because scientists tell them to. They practice it because it makes life more beautiful, more meaningful, more joyful. Research on Japanese longevity has shown that this positive attitude and spiritual practice is one of the key factors contributing to their remarkable health outcomes. As the afternoon draws to a close, Takeshi begins his gentle walk home. But he doesn't hurry, even now. He knows that the transition from afternoon to evening is sacred time, deserving of the same attention and care as any other part of the day. He walks slowly, mindfully, carrying with him the peace and connection he's cultivated throughout these precious hours. Think about your own afternoons, dear friend. How might they feel different if you approach them like Takeshi? What if, instead of seeing the afternoon as time to fill with tasks and obligations, you saw it as time to cultivate connection and peace? What if rest wasn't something you had to earn, but something you offered yourself as an act of love? The Japanese understand something profound about the rhythm of healthy aging. It's not about doing more or pushing harder. It's about finding the gentle balance between meaningful activity and restorative rest, between solitude and connection, between doing and simply being. I want you to consider one small change you might make to your afternoons. Maybe it's calling an old friend. Maybe it's sitting quietly for just 5 minutes, really noticing the world around you. Maybe it's expressing gratitude for one simple thing that brought you joy today. Remember, it's not about perfection. It's about taking one small, gentle step toward the kind of aging that Japanese elders have mastered. Aging with grace, with connection, with peace. As we come together for the final part of our gentle journey, I hope you feel the same sense of calm and possibility that comes with watching the day gradually soften into evening. There is something magical about this time of day. something the Japanese have understood for centuries and woven into the very fabric of how they approach their golden years. Let me tell you about Japanese woman Elder Masa, who is 79 years old. She lives in a quiet neighborhood where the streets are lined with traditional wooden houses. Their dark tiles gleam softly in the evening light. As the sun begins its slow descent toward the horizon, Masa begins what might be the most important ritual of her entire day: the gentle transition from day to night. In our fast-paced world, we often think of evening as the time to wind down quickly, fall in front of the TV, or scroll through our phones until we fall asleep. But Japanese elders like Masa have discovered something far more nourishing. They have learned that how you end your day determines not only how well you sleep, but how hopeful and energized you feel when you wake up the next morning. Picture Japanese woman Elder Masa as she prepares for evening. The late afternoon light streams through her window. It casts everything in a warm, golden glow. She moves slowly and carefully, not because she has to, but because she has learned that rushing through the evening hours takes away their healing power. She begins by tidying her small living space, but not in the way you might expect. Each item she touches receives her full attention. The teacup from her afternoon tea is washed carefully. 'Tis dried gently and placed back on its special shelf. The cushion where she sat is fluffed and arranged just so. The small flower arrangement on her table, just 3 stems in a simple ceramic vase, is adjusted slightly. Each bloom is positioned with the same care a master painter might use for the final brushstrokes of a masterpiece. This is not about having a perfect house or impressing anyone. This is about what the Japanese call soji, cleaning, as a form of meditation. It is a way of bringing order, not just to your space, but to your mind and spirit. As Japanese woman Elder Masa tends to her surroundings, something wonderful happens inside her. The small worries and tensions of the day begin to dissolve. They are replaced by a sense of calm, accomplishment, and gratitude. There is deep wisdom in this approach. When your outer world is peaceful and ordered, your inner world naturally follows. When you care for your surroundings with love and attention, you are also caring for yourself. It is a gentle way of saying to your mind and body, you deserve beauty. You deserve peace. You deserve a sanctuary where you can rest and restore yourself. As the evening progresses, Japanese woman Elder Masa prepares for one of the most sacred rituals in Japanese culture: the evening bath. But this is not just about getting clean. This is about transformation, about washing away not just the physical remnants of the day, but the emotional and spiritual ones as well. She fills her small tub with water that is exactly the right temperature, hot enough to penetrate tired muscles, but not so hot that it shocks the system. She adds a few drops of yuzu oil. This is extracted from a citrus fruit that blooms in winter. It fills the small bathroom with a scent that is both energizing and deeply calming. The fragrance seems to wrap around her like a gentle embrace. As Japanese woman Elder Masa sinks into the warm water, something magical begins to happen. Her breathing naturally deepens and slows. Her muscles, which have carried the day's tension without her even realizing it, begin to release and soften. Her mind, which has been busy with thoughts and concerns, starts to quiet like a pond settling after the wind stops blowing. This daily bathing ritual does something amazing for Japanese elders. It marks a clear boundary between the active part of the day and the restorative part. It signals to the body that it is time to shift from the stress system to the healing system. Research published in international health journals shows that regular warm baths can lower blood pressure, improve circulation, reduce inflammation, and promote deeper sleep. The Japanese bathing ritual, deeply embedded in their culture, is supported by scientific evidence showing significant health benefits for heart and mental health. But for Japanese woman Elder Masa, these health benefits are simply the natural result of treating herself with consistent kindness and care. After her bath, Japanese woman Elder Masa prepares for another evening ritual that might surprise you. Instead of watching TV or reading the news, she spends time with her hands. Tonight, she is working on a piece of embroidery. small, delicate flowers that seem to bloom under her patient fingers. Each stitch is placed with intention. Each color is chosen with care. This is not busy work or a way to pass time. This is what the Japanese call taiso, work of the hands that feeds the soul. Whether it is embroidery, knitting, pottery, calligraphy, or simple origami, Japanese elders understand that keeping your hands busy with beautiful, meaningful work keeps your mind sharp and your spirit young. Watch Japanese woman Elder Masa as she works. Her breathing is calm and even her face is peaceful, almost meditative. Her fingers move with the confidence that comes from decades of practice, but also with the fresh joy of someone discovering beauty in the moment. She is not worried about making mistakes or creating something perfect. She is simply enjoying the miracle of creating something beautiful with her own two hands. There is something deeply healing about this kind of work. It connects you to generations of people who have created beauty with simple tools and patient hands. It gives you a sense of accomplishment that does not depend on anyone else's approval. It produces something tangible and lovely that will outlast you. It carries a little piece of your care and attention into the future. As the evening deepens, Japanese woman Elder Masa puts aside her handwork. She prepares for perhaps the most important ritual of all, reflecting on the day that is ending. She does not write in a diary or follow any formal structure. Instead, she simply sits quietly and allows her mind to wander gently through the hours that have passed. She remembers the taste of her morning tea, the feeling of sunshine on her face during her afternoon walk, the sound of her neighbor's laughter, the satisfaction of completing a small task with care. She does not judge these memories or try to analyze them. She simply holds them gently, like precious stones she is collecting in her heart. This practice of evening reflection does something remarkable for the brain. It helps consolidate the day's experiences into lasting memories. It strengthens the neural pathways that support gratitude and contentment. It helps you recognize patterns and lessons that might otherwise be lost in the rush of daily life. But more than that, this gentle review of the day helps Japanese elders like Masa feel that their lives have meaning and purpose, even on days when nothing dramatic happens, even on quiet days filled with simple activities. The evening reflection helps them see the beauty and value in the life they are living. Now, as the night grows deeper, Japanese woman Elder Masa begins her final preparation for sleep. But this is not the rushed, anxious bedtime routine that many people know. This is a gentle, loving transition that honors sleep as one of the most important healers we have. She dims the lights in her home gradually. This allows her eyes and her nervous system to adjust slowly to the approaching darkness. She avoids screens and stimulating activities. Instead, she might read a few pages of a favorite book or listen to soft music that makes her feel peaceful and grateful. She prepares her sleeping area with the same care she brings to everything else. Her futon is arranged just so. Her pillow is fluffed to the perfect height. The temperature is adjusted to be cool, but not cold. Everything is designed to support the deep, restorative sleep that her body needs to heal and renew itself overnight. Before she closes her eyes, Japanese woman Elder Masa takes a few moments for a practice that might be the most powerful of all. Expressing gratitude for the day that is ending. She does not make a formal list or follow any rules. She simply allows her heart to feel thankful for whatever brought her joy, comfort, or learning during the past day. Maybe she is grateful for the way the morning light looked in her garden. Maybe she is thankful for a kind word from a neighbor, or the taste of a perfectly ripe piece of fruit. Maybe she feels appreciation for her own body, which carried her through another day of life with strength and grace. The specific objects of gratitude do not matter as much as the feeling itself. The warm, soft feeling of a heart that recognizes how much there is to appreciate in even the simplest life. This practice of falling asleep with gratitude does something beautiful for the mind and body. It shifts your brain into a positive state that promotes deeper sleep and more pleasant dreams. It helps you wake up feeling hopeful and energized rather than anxious or discouraged. It is like giving yourself a gentle blessing before you rest. As Japanese woman Elder Masa drifts off to sleep, her breathing becomes slow and even. Her body releases the last tensions of the day. Her mind settles into the peaceful darkness, ready to spend the night hours healing, restoring, and preparing for another day of simple joys and quiet contentments. This is the secret that Masa, Akiko, and Takeshi have discovered. Health is not about dramatic changes or expensive treatments or complicated routines. Health is about treating yourself with consistent kindness. It is about finding beauty in simple things. It is about staying connected to other people and to the world around you. It is about moving gently, eating mindfully, resting completely, and expressing gratitude for the gift of being alive. These are not difficult practices that require special equipment or training. They are gentle ways of living that anyone can learn, regardless of age or circumstance. They are based on the understanding that your body and mind and spirit are not separate things, but parts of one beautiful whole that deserves to be treated with love and respect. As our journey together comes to an end, dear friend, I want to leave you with this thought. You do not have to change everything at once. You do not have to become a different person or abandon your own culture and traditions. You simply have to be willing to treat yourself with a little more kindness, a little more patience, a little more care. Maybe tonight you will try taking a warm bath before bed. Maybe tomorrow morning you will eat your breakfast a little more slowly, really tasting each bite. Maybe this afternoon you will call an old friend or sit quietly for a few minutes, just noticing the world around you. Maybe this evening you will spend a few moments feeling grateful for the simple gifts of the day. These small acts of self-kindness have the power to transform not just your health, but your entire experience of being alive. They can help you age not with fear and resistance, but with grace and joy and deep satisfaction. I want to thank you for taking this gentle journey with me today. I hope something in these stories of Japanese elders has touched your heart and given you new ideas about what is possible in your own life. I would love to hear in the comments below which of these practices spoke to you most deeply, or if you have your own gentle rituals that bring you peace and health. May your days be filled with simple joys and quiet contentments. May your nights be peaceful and restorative. May you age with the grace and wisdom of the Japanese elders we have met today, finding beauty in every moment and treating yourself with the kindness you so richly deserve. Until we meet again, take gentle care of yourself, my friend. You're more precious than you know.